This is the second part to the tutorial for the WitEden Super 3x3x8 Type 1. In the last part, I finished solving this middle layer. And now I want to solve the layers that are right outside of the middle layer and between the two outer layers. The first thing you have to do is to solve the shape, just the shape, like a 3x3x3, so that everything can move in between. And just try to keep this middle layer intact, since you already solved it. So you just solve like a 3x3x3. Okay, so now that solves everything, the shape at least, so that everything can move in between. And I want to start with either layer actually, but I'm going to start with this layer. And just try to find all the corner pieces that are in the correct layer. So this green and orange works. This orange and blue works. This blue and purple works. But this green and orange does not. So I just need a green and purple, and just see which one doesn't match on the bottom. Now this one doesn't match, so this is the only piece that has to be replaced. So I have to replace this with this green and orange. So I'm going to move it out of the way first. I'm going to move it down so that the correct piece matches up with the other piece I want to put into that layer. And I want to put them here and move them back up, and now I have all the corners in the correct layers. So now I just have to flip these two, and to do that I need an algorithm from the 3x3x2 or 3x3x4. So for that one I need to put both the two corners I'm flipping and put them on the right side. From here I'm going to do 2R, U, 2R, U invert it, 2R, 2F, U invert it, 2F, D, and 2R. And that's all the corners. And now I just saw the edge pieces here. I can see that there's already a purple and blue in the correct spot, so now I just need a green and an orange. Looking over here, I do have an orange, but I don't have a green. So I need to replace one of these two purples with a green piece. So just move them down to the bottom, trying to keep at least one of the greens on the same layer as the purples, like this. And I'm going to flip these two. And that'll get me a green across from a purple, which I can use to put back here. So for this, I'm going to use another algorithm from the 3x3x2 or 3x3x4. And I want the pieces I'm flipping to be in front and on the right. From here, I'm going to do 2R, U, 2R, U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, U, 2R, U invert it, and 2R. And that puts them directly opposite of each other, this purple and this green. So now I'm just going to put them back in. Like that. Okay, so now I just had to flip these two doing the same move. And if you notice, these pieces, these layers in between, one side has flipped over completely. So if I do that same move again, this side will flip over completely. But instead of doing that, I want to move it over here so that this side moves back into its correct spot. So from here, I want the green in the front, orange in the right, and have that layer I'm flipping to be on the right. So from here, same algorithm. It's R2, U, R2, U, R2, 2U, R2, 2U, R2, U, R2, U inverted, and R2. And that solves this part again. And just move it over twice, and it's solved. Now the same thing with this layer. And sometimes you have to do the corners again, but in this case it's already solved, which makes it easier. Now I just have to flip around these three pieces, and I can use the same method as before, same algorithm as I just used, or you can use a different algorithm, and in this case I had to use both. So from here, I want to put two pieces that are incorrect directly opposite of each other, and this only works if the two pieces are directly opposite of each other here and directly opposite of each other here, or if you have just three pieces messed up. So I want to put the two opposite of each other here, and I'm going to do R2, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R. And that flips these inner layers again, and put these last two in front and the right, and the same algorithm I used before that. R2, U2, R2, U, R2, U, R2, 2U, R2, 2U, R2, U, R2, U inverted, and R2. And that solves that layer.